Welcome back to Swimming with the Pontoon. Welcome back. I know it has been a while. I have neglected my video, my streaming duties for a little while now, but I'm back. I am back, and we're gonna get back on track streaming. I've been away, not only from streaming but also from the shop. I managed to get a week away from the shop. I needed to do so. I really needed to get away. It's going a little bit stir crazy, but again, we're back. Hopefully, the internet plays nicely and it doesn't stutter or anything like that. I reset the modem, the extender for out here in the shop, and hopefully the audio is good. So if not, if you're watching and you can't hear me, just let me know. So again, it's been a while since I have streamed. Hey, look at that. Cajun Santa. Scott. Cajun Santa. That's a good one. Not really. So yeah, I am back. I managed to get away for about a week from the shop. Very much needed to do so. Lots of stuff going on. Still, as I've made this journey from part-time doing the triggers to now full-time doing triggers, it's a change. It's different. Before I did this full-time, I had the full-time career and then triggers on the side. And while there was a lot to juggle and I have a bit more time now, even though the business is expanded, in the old days, I had a routine and I had other responsibilities that kind of could distract me, if you will, from Tactical Pontoon, from, just concentrating on Tactical Pontoon full time. So with this journey of full-time Tactical Pontoon over a year now, granted, I have been doing this over a full year now, full time, there's still a learning curve. There's still a process that I'm going through. And before I took that time off, I was struggling quite a bit, honestly. Couldn't quite keep the schedule that I wanted just because I was a bit overwhelmed with all of the responsibilities of Tactical Pontoon and trying to do any sort of streaming or videos as well. And then there are a couple other things that kind of went on. Hey, Desert Tactical Dave, good to have you here. So I had to take some time off. I thought that I could get, I had a couple different streams that I you could say blew off, and I rescheduled, but never made it back to it. It just wasn't a good time. So I took a bit of time off, had to take some time off, got away from the shop. It was a good time, which is, managed to not kill myself. The first time I have ever ridden a motorized two-wheeled contraption, not a motorcycle. I'm not that cool. It was my brother's daughter's Honda Navi, so it was automatic. We did some cruising around, did some off-road stuff. I put it into a fence because I'm not had, like I said, it was my first two-wheel motorized adventure. And if you're a motorcycle person, you're going to get a good laugh out of this. But with the twist throttle and the brake on the same side, I was going over a hill that I probably shouldn't have, really slowly, and then it was a very steep incline or decline, and I grabbed the brake, but at the same time kind of grabbed the throttle at the same time and realized that I was in trouble. Now, on the streets to that point, I did pretty well. I noticed that I was running into some issues with throttle and brake at the same time, and I was doing pretty well. I figured it out. However, over that hill went right out the window, and as soon as it happened, I knew I was in trouble. The bike, I took the little scooter bike down, and it just hit this fence, and fortunately I was not hurt. The bike was relatively okay. So that was fun. And then after that, no real complications after that. We did some, I rode several times after that. I don't see a motorcycle in my future anytime soon, but it was fun. It had some adventures. Yes. I also noticed, Dave, that you hit 1,800 subscribers. That's pretty cool. You are getting up there. Mine, I was growing, and then it kind of it flatlined, and it's right around one place because I haven't been uploading videos. And then YouTube did some weird stuff. 1824, awesome. And I was monetized, and then YouTube messed with some things, and it's not monetized, and they're not accepting. I'm having some weird things with my Google account, so I got to play with that. And then PayPal, I had somebody steal my information on PayPal, charge some stuff up on my PayPal debit card. It's just all been fun. Hey, Steven, good to have you here. I'm glad you made it. I made it back, and I don't know if you guys noticed my shirt here, Peacemaker shirt. Peacemaker Trigger Systems. This, I've actually had this a little while, but I haven't been streaming in a little while. Nordic Nevadan came up with a design for the Peacemaker Trigger Systems, and I love this shirt. It's orange. It's got the nuclear explosion, and it's going around with the next design, the next Tactical Pontoon design. We wanted to do something for the Peacemaker Trigger Systems. He came up with the design for the trigger shirt, or for the shirt. And yeah, I'll get back to the PayPal thing. Then we have the next, I don't know, it's not the best. Let's do this. Boom. We have me on a nuclear bomb with my Glock in a suit. You can't hardly tell because my beard is in the way of the tie, of course, but Peacemaker sticker design. So that's what we've got going on. So we've got the Peacemaker Peacemaker Systems shirts from Nordic Nevadan, and then the stickers are coming soon. They're not here yet. I've just got the design. They're being printed up as we speak. But I've been excited about showing off this t-shirt. I'm going to show it off again. I love this thing. Nordic Nevadan. He's probably on here, or will be soon. So I'm sorry, Angry Sarge. You'll just have to watch it later. Angry Sarge, if you haven't subscribed to him or Desert Tactical, you need to. Good guys. There are some good guys. Steven, that's kind of what the Peacemaker is. I consider the Peacemaker my nuclear themed. That's kind of what it was. You got the old, I'm an aviation guy, so the B-36 Peacemaker, which was the biggest bomber that we had, originally started out with 6 piston engines, and then they added 2 jet pods on the end. Similar to like a B-52, but you had 6 piston engines with propellers, and then you had 4 jet pods, 2 on each side. Big, massive Peacemaker. So that was a nuclear bomber, kind of where I went with the Peacemaker systems. So, anyways, PayPal. Right before I left, I had gotten I woke up to multiple charges on my PayPal debit card, which I use my PayPal debit. I used to use it a lot more back when that's what the site ran through, but I've since changed from them to PayRock just because PayPal is PayPal. They're just not the. I always was dancing on the edge with PayPal. I knew, and I've seen them shut down so many people, and I just never changed until earlier this year. So I used my PayPal debit card for a lot of different things, and I still use it, but I had some charges show up that were not me. American Eagle, not my thing. What was the other one? Not Target. Target would not be me. What's the other? Old Navy. And then there was a Rock Auto, and which I thought was funny because the Rock Auto would make sense. Rock Auto would make sense for me, but not for that amount. It was like $170, $160 at like Old Navy, and like $180 at American Eagle. Then there were some odd ones for UPS, which I don't normally ship through UPS. They were small, like 30, excuse me, and a couple for 8. Okay. Like 3 or 4 for 8 for UPS. And I thought, well, that doesn't make any sense. These are definitely not me. What's going on? So I, you can't really contact people on PayPal. And there was no way for me to dispute those charges online. I tried it, and it kept giving me an error. So PayPal does have a message service where you can just message them and they'll get back to you. Believe it or not, that actually worked really well. They got back to me the next day, and instead of just messaging me back and forth, the lady at PayPal called me. We worked things out. She let me know what was going on, and that she could go ahead and get those charges, at least a dispute started. So I had to give the numbers of the transactions and that sort of thing. So far, and it took about a week for the transactions to start to at least they gave me a credit back, an initial credit back, and then they're going to go back through and verify that all of those are fake, which will be about, I think, 30 or 45 days. So it's been a relatively easy process. The thing is, I had noticed charges like 2 or 3 weeks earlier that were PayPal for eBay, but I didn't think anything of it too much because I had ordered a bunch of different things off eBay those prior 2 weeks. I just thought it was charges catching up. It was on a Sunday when those come. Same with these, and so I didn't pay too much attention to those. So, okay, well, those charges they look relatively about what I spent. I'm always buying different things for whether it's items for the shop, items for the other shop, something for the house. So those made sense. I didn't think anything of them, but when I look back at it now, and that was like $300 or $400 worth of items, whatever they might have been, they probably got me back then. They noticed 2 weeks later I hadn't done anything, so they hit me again. This time they went to American Eagle and what was it? Old Navy. So it threw me off, and I caught it. So they got me $400. I could probably go back and do that, and I may do that, but then again, sometimes you have to learn the hard way. That's one of the ways I learned. So really, I have to say, overall, the experience with PayPal was good. I was afraid that it was going to be bad. PayPal had done me right overall in the past. However, always being on eggshells when my entire business runs through PayPal, and I've seen them, for example, what was he's probably watching. XL Weapon Works. Man, it's been a while. Man, Matt, if you're watching, I gotta get a hold of you. It's been a while. Man, one of the OGs, XL Weapon Works. If you guys may not have even heard of him, but he was the guy to go to for stippled P80 frames. We used to go back and forth. He was one of the first people to actually believe in me before I got started doing any of this. And I ran into him through watching Tactical Toolbox when he did a lot of videos with Matt's frames. So yeah, OGs, I guess, at this point. They hit him for almost $20,000 because at the time he ran his entire business through PayPal. They held on to his money for I don't know how long. I can't remember. It was a good amount of time that threw him in an entire loop to have, that type of money being held by PayPal. I flew under the radar for a good 3 or 4 years knowing that I was on the edge. And when I became full time at this, I knew I was really running on the edge. They actually shut me down at one point. And that's when it was like, okay, I got to change. Went to Payrock. I've been very happy with Payrock. Their overall charges are really close to PayPal's. They've done me right so far. You don't pop your collar with an American Eagle shirt. No, I don't. I bought one American Eagle shirt in my entire life. It was a t-shirt. I don't even remember why I was in there. I think it had to do with a girl at the time. I think she wanted me to dress better. I got rid of her. I don't dress better. Hi, Thomas. Good to see you. Good to see you here. Nuclear yellow with a zombie green safety. That could be kind of cool on a Peacemaker. Got some stuff in work on custom colors. I got some stuff in work. The PayPal debit card, Dave, if you're going to get one, it's not a bad thing. Like I said, I used to run everything through PayPal, so it was easy for me to track purchases, business purchases with my PayPal debit card. So that's why I had it. Yeah, moving the money directly out of PayPal immediately is probably the best thing. I ran a lot of money through PayPal with the business. Now, in months, very little money is actually in there, but it draws directly from my bank account at the time. I've changed that since then. Yeah, you got to be careful out there. One of the reasons why I pretty much use credit cards for anything is for instances like this. So I really thought that it was like $600 something. I thought, man, I'm in trouble. But PayPal did. I will give them this. I'm not their biggest fan. They are not friendly to our 2A rights. Okay. So I'm not the biggest fan, but in this instance, I got to give them credit where credit is due. They seem to have taken good care of me. So PayPal has, yes, and they can take things out of your bank account. Like I said, in this instance, I got to give them that they took care of me. But like, for example, Matt at Excel Weapon Works, they pretty much put him pretty close to out of business. It did. Like I said, in my instance, and I knew, like in my instance, they took care of me, but again, I can't really recommend them. That's the honest truth, because they've put people out of business. They have rejected a lot of, you're talking small businesses that are sending a lot of money through PayPal, and they take their fees. Just let people do their thing. But again, I don't use PayPal like I did. I've got Payrock on the website. They've done me really well. It takes credit cards, and I can send out invoices and that sort of thing. Yeah, $20K is a lot of money for a small business. If you were to take $20K out of my business, well, you'd have to find it. You'd have to find it. I'm not hurting, but $20K would definitely, yeah. So, yeah, that was my PayPal experience. That happened right before I left town. Amongst the other things that was pushing me towards needing a break, uh, brand C, I'm going to call them. I'm not going to mention them. I had to remove a video, a little bit of a cease and desist. I'm not going to go too far into that because again, with the whole 20K thing, big businesses can step on small businesses and so I don't feel like being stepped on. So did have to remove a video. Not going to get into where my thoughts are on that. So that was weighing in on me, still kind of weighs in on me, but at the same time, so be it. Whatever happens, happens. Um, which is going to kind of change the way that I do certain things, especially videos and that sort of thing. My goal and intention for videos is to teach people things. I'm going to do less contrasting what I do with how others do it and that sort of thing. Goal is to be educational. I shall leave contrasting and calling out different qualities, if you will, to other people. That's not to say I'm not going to be honest, but I am going to watch myself because the reality is I do this. You know, this is my business. This is my livelihood. I could go push a broom somewhere. I'm fully capable of that. I'd prefer not to. I would prefer to keep building triggers, to keep helping you guys out. But if I'm not careful, I could have to go push a broom or whatnot. So I had that weighing on me. Had that weighing on me. And then just the overall weight of all the different emails that I deal with every day, messages that come in, different customer service things, all things that I don't hate. I don't hate those. I enjoy helping people out. But I also, when I get overwhelmed or I get, I sometimes will take things personally. I might not put it out there, but it I feel it on the inside, which weighs on me, whether it's social media posts or people not knowing how I actually operate and just, putting things out there or, whatever it might be. So all of that said, I needed a bit of time and I took it. I'm feeling quite a bit better. Things will change. I'm learning more and more to be able to put my phone down, step away from the computer for an hour or two, and just breathe, enjoy life without Tactical Pontoon. Because, the reality is I am Tactical Pontoon. So, but I can't be Tactical Pontoon 24 hours a day. It's kind of what I was doing. I was letting myself be Tactical Pontoon 24 hours a day instead of having some James time where I'm just James. Even, I've been working on my car. That is going good, but at the same time, when you have other things that come up with troubleshooting issues or things that you're trying to figure out, and then you add that on top of troubleshooting other people's things and troubleshooting your business, it becomes less enjoyable. So I was dealing with both of those on top, and I became a bit overwhelmed. So streaming took a backseat. I didn't stream anything. I was building triggers, kept up with that, got to keep up with the orders because that's why I'm here. And yeah, so we're back. Yes, Tactical Pontoon is back. Going to be doing what I do, going to be better at what I do. Like I said, if things change, they're going to change, but they're going to be for the better. And in the end, if anything, it's going to make the business better and give myself some sanity. So yeah. All right. That aside, all of that stuff aside, what has been up? Got some good stuff. I did do a video this week. I don't know if you guys caught it, but right before I went out of town, there was a limited run of the Palmetto State Armory micro dagger. I managed to get one. I think they did maybe 10, but I got one. And of course, I was going out of town, so I was a little late to the game, if you will, but still early to the game. Matt, there he is. Matt. I got one. When I got back, I was able to go pick it up, and we have it here. Again, like I said, I did a video on this guy. I have to say, if you were not a fan of the PSA dagger, you will like this. If you were a fan of the PSA dagger, you will like this. I have not wanted to build my own slimline system since they came out. Maybe the 43X and then the CR920. But the buy-in price on the CR920, I was like, it's already built at that point. However, this little guy has got me kind of excited about building my own CR920, or my own micro dagger, my own slimline, using the PSA dagger as the frame to begin with. Why? Why is that? Not because they've done anything terribly revolutionary, but price to feature wise, I would have to say it does punch above its weight, which the dagger already did, but this takes it to another level. Things that people did not like about the dagger, I would say they addressed with this guy. Okay. Micro dagger triggers, to an extent, yes. One thing that has kept me busy is CR920 triggers, because when they did that thing, if you guys watched any of my videos, I said it was probably the worst trigger out of a stock, out of the box Glock clone or Glock itself that I had ever felt. I've heard they fixed it just a little bit. It's a little smoother than the original versions. However, a little bit better is still lacking quite a bit. Have to say, Palmetto State Armory learned from that. It's actually a pretty good trigger. Aside from being hinged, it's still a hinged trigger out of the box. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's really not bad. They learned from others' mistakes, which is a good thing. I would say it's right around a 4.5 to 5 pound break, which is lower than what you would get out of a 43X. It's obviously lower than a CR920. Hey, what's up, Demo Joe? Hey, man, been a while. We're looking at the PSA micro dagger coming soon. Widespread, anyways. But one of the things that a lot of dagger owners were not happy about, and I personally was not happy about, was the roll pins in the frame. PSA listened. There are no roll pins in the frame. And I think I would have to say that is probably one of the things that has made this production take longer to get out onto the actual floor versus the original dagger. Couple different reasons for that. This guy has, let's pull the slide off here, molded in, you're really not going to see much here on this video. I've got the actual full video that I uploaded. Molded in frame rails, slide rails, okay? They are molded into the frame. The dagger had rails that fit into the frame and were held in by pins. These are molded in. This is a better way of doing things. This is an upgrade. This also allows you to use aftermarket pins. I tried some out. I had some, I don't have them here on the table right now. I had some gold tin colored pins, aftermarket pins for a Glock 43X. They fit in here. They fit well. So one of the major things from both an operational and from a customizing aspect has been improved with the micro dagger aftermarket pins. I will start putting Glock 43 pins on the website. I'll hold them here so you guys can, add them with your trigger. So with the molded in rails, and they're nice rails, you get a major upgrade there. Now that I'm in no way, shape, or form paid by PSA. Matt, if you do want to send me a check, if you guys want to send me a check, I'm open to it. But if anything, I can't wait to see these guys out so I can build my own. Right there, I would love to build this one, but it is a test frame, and I can't build that out. I gotta have a test frame. But if you guys want to send me a check, that would be great. But unfortunately, no. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This has there is one thing that I would like to see improved, but really that's kind of an aftermarket frame. It is a high fiberglass content frame, so it's not going to burn real easily for stippling like a factory Glock polymer. But we're kind of used to that. SCT's like that. Even Nomad is like that. They're not as clean when it comes to aftermarket work as a factory Glock polymer frame. Even SIG's like that. So that's just my little complaint. The trigger system, okay? Yes, they got rid of the roll pins. These are factory pins. There's only two, like a 43X or 43. Only two pins. You don't have an extra pin up here to hold the rails in. Beautiful. The mag release, or not the mag release, the slide release. We'll talk about the mag release. The slide release is a hybrid design. Okay, it's built like a Generation 3 mag release. It's got the little spring ear that comes up that pushes against the top of the locking block in order to hold the trigger pin in place. However, and this is really cool, they also included the pocket milled in there in the polymer, or molded into the polymer, for a Glock 43X or Glock 43 standard style slide release. So you have both options available to you. You can use the PSA mag release or slide release, or you can use a factory or aftermarket 43 style slide release. Pretty cool. Beating the pins out of the VP9 frame or a P10 frame. I actually lost a spring because of that. So yes, not a huge fan of roll pins, especially those on the VP9. Yeah, that crimped pin that they've got. Crimped roll pin, whatever they call that. The other thing and I didn't go into this in my video because I'm going to do an actual trigger video on the micro dagger. It does use, and let's see, we might as well we'll zoom in here. See that? That is a hybrid. Let's see. Too close to my mouth. That's what she said. A hybrid style trigger assembly like the CR920. I kind of knew that was coming. A little bit of insider information as you might expect, but I expected that to come, and I expected this trigger to be really bad like the CR920 if they were going to do the hybrid style trigger. Again, like I said, it is a hybrid style trigger, a molding of the Generation 3 and the Glock 43 / Generation 5 style. But they pulled it off really well. Again, this is a good slimline trigger right out of the box, aside from having the hinged Smith & Wesson bullcrap that we will be changing. Okay, trigger options and that sort of thing. Obviously, I have plans. My trigger systems will fit in this. They seem to operate really well. Everything is good on that options. Yeah, I'm of that era. That's what she said is just, it's ingrained into me. So the Peacemaker Extreme carry systems will fit in here, which will change this system from the hybrid system to the standard Glock 43 system with my work, of course. Now, PSA Dagger, Micro Dagger is on the more inexpensive side of things, and I am going to come up with a tune-up kit similar to the Dagger, excuse me, that is cost conscious, still performance wise conscious, so that people with the Micro Dagger can upgrade the trigger to at the very least a flat trigger. But I've got some ideas on the internals for improving that. So that is Leonidas Micro Dagger, not quite. I've maybe I've done a Leonidas on the slimline frames. It's not what I call efficient. It takes even more work than a standard Leonidas, and for certain people I might do it, but again, it takes a lot of extra work. Probably not a Leonidas, maybe a Heisenberg. Well, one of my Heisenberg systems for the slimline systems will work with this, and then Peacemaker Extreme Carry. Enough of the parts work that I didn't have to redesign the wheel for the Micro Dagger. So that's a good thing. Chris Wakefield, we're going to talk about something you sent me, Chris, which I have right here. Going to talk about you. Going to talk about what you sent me. Not really going to talk about you. Not going to make fun of you. If anything, we're going to thank you, but we might joke. Peacemaker style system when they become, yes, I'll get you take it. We're gonna make something like that happen. Okay, so I have a tune-up kit in mind for this. I have some parts that are on order specifically for this guy for the tune-up kits. Okay, so I've been working on these. So before we finish this, the other thing was this is their MC1, which is a Glock 43 barrel, basically, or 43X barrel with their compensated slide on the end. Okay. There are videos out there of guys that have shot them. I'm going to leave that up to them. I'm going to leave the torture testing and all of that up to the guys that are good at stomping things into the dirt. Not really my thing. I do that with cars. I used to. Less so nowadays. It's got an optic cut on it. I forget which optic it is. There are better people for that than myself. It does have a slide. It's got a Picatinny rail section up front, similar to the MOS, but I think I did throw light on this with a Glock rail attachment, and it was loose. So I'm thinking you're actually going to need a Picatinny, section for this guy. Didn't get into that. I was more interested in the function of the trigger. So there are better people for the other stuff than myself at this point. Like the new magazines, these guys have been out for a while. I like the hybrid design. Back when the 43X and 48 first released, I knew something like this was going to happen because guys were taking Glock 19 magazines and they were stripping off the polymer and running a Glock 19 magazine in the 43Xs. So I knew somebody was going to come up with something similar to this. Here it is. Okay. So as for function and that sort of thing, there are better channels for that. I can say just dry, This looks like it's got live rounds in this, but these are actually dummy. There's no primers in these guys. So really neat. One of my customers sent this to me. He sent me like 15 of these. I like these. There is one problem with these, just because they look exactly like live rounds. You don't want to mix them up with actual live rounds in your testing table. I learned that one the hard way a good long time ago. So any live ammunition stays away from my table. I had a drill press that had a 9mm dent in the side of it because I made a mistake. So I have learned that one the hard way. But this is neat ammo for dry firing. Well, like I said, I did cycle quite a few rounds just dry, and everything seemed to function with my magazine and MC1, but I haven't gone out and fired it yet. I've been busy, mainly interested in the trigger system. So that's the micro dagger portion of this. I do want to talk about something else that Chris Wakefield there sent me. For a good while now, ever since January when they dropped the Generation 5 45 10mm, I've been working on getting one in the shop. Not real hard, I got to admit, because I've been busy with other things, but I was pretty sure, but I couldn't find any pictures, or I didn't look real deep into different pictures. What am I drinking? I am drinking pre-gym pre-workout. I pretty much drink it like coffee, and energy drinks and that sort of thing. So pre-gym. This is rainbow sherbet. It's the best flavor that is in that lineup. Overall, good flavors compared to a lot of your older style pre-workouts that tasted like, fruit punch, and chemicals. 300 milligrams of caffeine, 300 milligrams. 10 with a pellet gun. Nice hole in the bedroom ceiling. Very good. Nobody was hurt and you didn't get caught. That was good. I shot my sister, my brother and I think it was me, shot my sister with a BB gun when we were little kids. We did a lot of really stupid things. So I didn't learn early on because I was pretty stupid. Yeah. But I had the ND in here in the shop relatively early on in Tactical Pontoon. So I've learned. Not using that drill press. The drill press did work after that. It worked just fine. I actually did not find the dent in the drill press till quite a few months later. I looked around, could not find a hole in the trigger cave. I wondered what in the world did I actually hit. And then, like I said, several months later, I was looking and there was a dent in the motor of the drill press. And I'm like, oh, well, that's where it went. Very fortunate that there was not a ricochet or anything like that. Yes. With a polymer bright orange tip. That is one of the type of snap caps that I have in the shop. Normally, that's what I use. When these came in, I liked them. So I've been using them. Like I said, I recommend with the polymer tip. With an actual casing, with a polymer tip, it's probably the best way to do it. These came in, I like them. So I've been using them. Okay, back to what I was talking about. Chris Wakefield. Oh man, this week I will be working on this. So should have something back to you by the end of the week, maybe earlier. Generation 5, 10mm, and 45. As I suspected, they changed the 10mm trigger bars to a Generation 5 style. Okay. Same with the trigger block housing. It's got a Generation 5 trigger spring. Let's see. We'll zoom in again. Why not? I'm going to get away from my mouth so you don't have to see my beautiful lips. Generation 5 style, standard style ejector for 10 millimeter and 45, but you've got the Generation 5 trigger hook. You see the generation, there's the number 33739 for the trigger bar. These trigger bars are not in general parts catalogs and suppliers right now, which means for me to do a trigger for these, a person has to send in their trigger assembly. It is in the Glock Armorer's list, but as for general availability, not yet. I've been looking. Chris sent me one of these guys. I am going to build him a Heisenberg system if he wants a Heisenberg. Chris, what system do you want? I can do a Heisenberg competition, Heisenberg daily. We need to talk about that. Anyways, it is different. They also got rid of the the little hump that rode in the slide to keep things straight. One of my biggest enemies for Glock 10 millimeter and 45s. They got rid of that guy. It's no longer there. I'll be interested to see what type of changes I can get with this. I always had, for the most part, I had to leave those alone on 10 millimeters and 45s to smooth things out, because if you removed and tried to profile this at all on the 10 millimeters and 45s, it was very easy to run into issues with function. All right, we're going to go back out. So they did change them for the Generation 5s in a good way. I feel like there's a lot of room for this. There may be eventually, not this time, there may be the possibility of Leonidas in the future for the 10 millimeters. I was not able to do that with Generation 1 or Generation 3 and 4. It was not something I could do. Leonidas might be possible for the Generation 5s. Not yet, not at this point, but it might be possible later on. I will get a full Generation 5 in here to verify before I say yes or no on that. The striker, let's go back in. We'll look at the striker up close. It is a Generation 5 style striker. You see it's got the round striker tip on there. So that changed as well for the 45 and 10 millimeter. I will be cleaning this up. It will be beautiful for Chris when he gets it back. So finally, I have the information that I needed. Like I said, I've been looking for a while. I stayed busy and I didn't fully pursue it. Chris put me on blast. He's like, "Hey, I got one. I'll send it to you. Let's do this." So that's what we're gonna do. Maybe I'll do a top-down video for this for people that didn't catch that. So Heisenberg Tactical, I got you, Chris. Heisenberg Tactical, I'll make it happen. I will send you the extra springs. I'll send you the spring cups and that sort of thing for the Heisenberg Tactical, as well as your pieces, your normal spring and that sort of thing, and spring cups. I had trouble spelling Heisenberg initially when I first released the Heisenberg. I was spelling it with a U, and I actually had to go back and change the website and some Instagram posts and that sort of thing. So I made that mistake originally spelling Heisenberg. I spelled B-U-R-G at the end instead of B-E-R-G. So easy to misspell. I did it. Had to change the whole website. Had to get back in there and fix that. So Generation 5, 10 millimeter, and 45 is on the plate, but it will have to be done on the Pontoon I's your trigger option. I just right now can't really get the parts in. Not easily, anyways. Okay, another thing. Right before I left, I ordered patches. I thought that I ordered, vinyl patches. I had a lot going on. I did not read what I ordered. I was excited. I showed up when I was away. And when I got here and I opened, and I didn't order a lot of them, I ordered like 20. So it wasn't terribly expensive. I wanted to get things started. They were not vinyl patches. They were not Velcro on patches. I should have read before I ordered. They are fabric embroidered patches. They stick on. So I was a bit disappointed. They don't look bad. They really don't look bad. We'll zoom in again. Look at me with my brown Obi-Wan mustache there. They don't look bad. They actually look pretty good, but they weren't what I had planned. So I don't know if I'm going to list these on the website. Maybe do some giveaways or something. They were not what I wanted. I was upset. I'm probably if you're still here, Joe, I'll get with you. I know you kind of were one of the ones that was pushing me to do this, and instead of listening to you initially, and I ordered from somewhere else, I'm gonna get with you. I'll get with your friend. We'll do an actual version of the patches. So I failed. I was pretty disappointed when I came home to these guys. They're not bad. They'd be good for like a trucker hat or my shiny chrome dome here. I know. I should have. I went ahead after we talked, before I saw that you had a patch guy. I went ahead and I ordered some from one of the sticker companies that I used, and I didn't read. So I made a mistake. It happens. I do that quite a bit. I make mistakes. It's part of how I got into this. If I had known early on a lot of the things that I would go through for Tactical Pontoon and how little I knew when I got started, who knows? Maybe I wouldn't be here. Maybe I would have said, this is not the way that I need to go. I don't need to build triggers. I'll build some for myself. But I jump in and get dirty and make mistakes and learn from them. So this is another learned and earned mistake and knowledge. So I'll probably do some giveaways for these guys, but I don't see listing them on the website. So good. Okay. After this, or maybe probably going to put the phone down for some of the night on a Sunday after this, but I will get back with you on Monday, tomorrow. Part of my learning to not be Tactical Pontoon 24/7. Probably get back with you tomorrow, or then again, I may get earlier. We'll see. I'm trying to be better at having some personal time away from Tactical Pontoon. So I got patches. They're not the right ones. I'll do some giveaways. I'll throw them in. I'm taking a break. I'm learning to. I am learning to. And I appreciate everybody who tells me to take a break. I also appreciate everybody who tells me I'm doing a good job. I also appreciate people that tell me I'm doing a bad job, because I get to learn from that. It's part of it. You have to learn. You have to do bad. You have to be told you're bad, or you suck, and then you get better. And then you also have to learn, when is it just somebody being a troll versus somebody actually giving good advice. Which goes back to the social media stuff, where I sometimes take things a little bit more personal than I should. There are trolls. I get people that don't like the way that I advertise, or my stickers, or maybe they've got a different trigger person that they like a little bit better, which is fine. I have to learn that, and I learned that. I'm better than I used to be. I used to take a lot more personal, but there are times when I see some of it and it just, Another thing on the website I have, and then once I ordered them and I stocked them, I realized that I don't have a dedicated Generation 5 frame. So, well, hit me up. If I don't answer, one, especially if it's through Instagram, which Meta, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff, they've really messed their stuff up. There are a lot of messages I miss on Instagram because of they are messing some stuff up. And then I noticed today that they're throwing in threads. I did not sign up to threads. I know that through Instagram I'm signed up to threads, but I did not sign up to threads. I've never logged on to threads, and now they're putting some on my feed. It's bad enough with reels. Anyways, I will get back with you though. Shoot me a message, Dave. Trust me. It's okay. You're cool. We're good. Like I said, shoot me a message. I do answer. Maybe it'll be a little bit later. We will see. I ordered magwells from Gunco, Generation 5. And then I realized that I don't have a dedicated Generation 5 frame here. I have a Glock 19X. Not the same. Trigger-wise, it is a Generation 5. Frame-wise, a little bit different. I ordered these guys in, so I'm going to have to come up with a Generation 5 frame or something. Maybe I'll give one of these guys away. They're really nice. They're really nice. I've used a lot of different magwells over the years. Gunco, they have produced really good things. Their triggers, I've been sold on their triggers for a while now. The quality is there. I decided I'm going to start putting more of their stuff on the website so that you guys can, I could run specials on them. I'll do some bundle deals, but their quality is there. I've got the +5s. I ordered the magwells for the Generation 5s and then stupidly didn't even have one in the shop right now to take pictures on. So, but I did order one for a I just ordered one. I'm going to order more when the time comes, to stock things takes money. And you know how that stuff goes. So I ordered one Generation 3 and 4. And the way that they do that is it's a 2-piece design. So the Generation 3 and Generation 4 use the same magwell design, but the piece that they use for inside of the grip is different for Generation 3 and Generation 4 so that you can use your back straps and that sort of thing. But on my old school, this is the OG. Scott, if you're still here, this is the OG. This is the original Glock 17. This is the first test frame. This is and was for a good 2 years my main test frame, and it got put out to pasture. This is my first Glock. This is the first one. This is what started it all. As you can see, it's a little bit different than a factory Glock. When I got it, it was a factory Glock. It came with a 50-round drum magazine, which I still have. Very tactical. This Glock is the one that started it all. It is a Glock 17 Generation 3 with, right now, it's got their Generation 3 magwell on it. Loving that style. On top, you have a Boogeyman Customs before they even did their triggers, before I knew TJ, before all of that. My very first slide cut was a Boogeyman Customs Voodoo slide cut. Pretty cool. It is cut for a Viper Venom, Viper something, one of the Vipers. One of my first mistakes. You can see it's not mounted any longer. I don't even have that one anymore. I gave it away. The battery just never seemed to stay charged, or it ran through batteries like crazy. So it's got the plate on there in midnight bronze. Currently running a Blacklist barrel. for a while, it's ran several different barrels. Currently a blacklist barrel that was actually given to me by one of my very first customers and a good friend. He was one. Ron was one of the people that bought the very first Tactical Pontoon trigger. He sent me this blacklist barrel. I think he actually sent me this art comp. Wow. Anyways, good guy. Ron, if you're out there, I don't know if you've seen any of the videos here lately. I need to check. Yeah, this is OG. This was the very first test frame. It was some, you can see it has some of my framework. Actually did a pretty decent job. It's got an accelerator cut up here that I did. I was very selective on the framework that I did originally because I knew I wasn't very good at it. I did an okay job on this. It's pretty rough by professional standards. I'm going to eventually get this frame done. It's the OG. I'm probably going to have the slide Cerakoted black. I'm probably going to go to a full black on black scheme on this thing instead of the midnight bronze, which at the time was very cool. It's still really cool, but I'm thinking stealth on the OG Glock 17. But I brought it out just so I could show off but also the Generation 3 Gunco Magwell. Does not have their +5 because I actually, I've got it out in the other shop. I was taking pictures of it, and so I just brought in this Zev, which is kind of an interesting. No, this is a different Zev. This is a different Zev. I have a Zev that was built for PMags. They only did it for like a year or so. Anyways. OG, this guy is what started it all. The very first Tactical Pontoon triggers were run through this. I had at the time, because I didn't even originally plan on building triggers for a lot of people. I didn't. And next thing I knew, I was building triggers. I did not have as many test frames as I should have. It took a while for me to get a full Generation 4 test frame in here. And then the slimline, I thought I knew what I was doing originally, but I didn't. There were so many complications at first. My first run of triggers, I probably replaced most of them because I didn't understand all of the different variables between the different frames and, tolerant stack ups and then some of the little adjustments. And so instead of knowing how to help people troubleshoot, I replaced quite a few, and it put me on to the next variation, a simpler variation of my work. And like I said, I made a lot of mistakes at the very beginning. I still make mistakes. I've learned from them. I didn't give up. I really wanted to at certain points, even lately. Trial and error. But I do jump into things and learn and make mistakes. And I know I have some friends that have wanted to get in business and do their thing, and they really study and they figure out all of the ifs and ands and that sort of thing, and then they never do it. And I've tried to tell them, I'm like, guys, you're never going to know everything. And when you do know everything, you're going to find a reason not to do it. You got to fail. Were they boutique? It is Glocktober. I need to pull the pumpkin magazine extension that I have from Matt at 2A 3D laser now. I don't think it's print anymore. I have one of the +5 pumpkin 3D prints that he did from 2018 now. It's been a while. Glocktober. Maybe we'll do a Glocktober sale, and I'll do some patches or something, and we'll do something cool for Glocktober. It is here. We'll do some cool stuff sooner than later. Yes, making the mistakes sooner than later is better. ruined quite a few parts over the years. I have ruined a lot of parts. One of the things that I learned the hard way is a um, uh, the press that I have, arbor press. My God, if I had been smart enough earlier on to get an arbor press, I would have saved myself probably an easy. I'm gonna say $500. Okay, probably more than that. And instead of spending the $100 on an arbor press to press pins in and out, I used a hammer of various sizes and pin punches for quite a bit. Ruined a lot of things. You make a mistake, you slip, you do everything right, and you slip at the last minute, driving pins in and out. Arbor press, $100. You can spend less, you can spend more. I even have a small one. That was a mistake that like I said, probably over the $500. Arbor press. If you're messing with pins and that sort of thing, get yourself an arbor press. I'm looking back at it, thinking about how amazing that thing was. Yes, I mentioned you earlier, Nordic Nevadan Stewart. I mentioned you earlier. Let's do it again. For those who haven't seen it, the Peacemaker shirt for the Peacemaker Systems. I love this shirt. I've been wanting to show this shirt off. However, everything went down when this thing showed up. Wasn't even ready to show it off, but I've been wanting to show this thing off. This thing is cool. You can get these guys from the man, Nordic Nevadan. He's my official Tactical Pontoon t-shirt vendor. Okay? If you want a Tactical Pontoon t-shirt, we've got the normal logos, we've got the Heisenberg logos, now we've got the Peacemaker logos. I know he's got his own Nordic Nevadan, his logo. I wear that one too. I wear Nordic Nevadan t-shirts for Tactical Pontoon. He is the man. So if you want one, he's the man. For those that haven't seen, there's another sticker design coming out. You guys, we're going to see it before we wrap up. I'm over an hour. My voice, you can already hear it getting a little scratchy. $25 with shipping. Okay. If you're going to get a Peacemaker shirt, get a Peacemaker shirt. And when you order a Peacemaker trigger, they will be coming with the official Peacemaker system sticker. Now I've got there we go. Look at that guy. Woo. Look at that. Nordic doesn't have a website currently. Hit him up through here or on Instagram, Nordic .Nevadan. I think he's got several. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And this is a fun one. Let's look at this one again. I am on a nuclear bomb. Let's see. Whoop. There we go. On a nuclear bomb, Peacemaker. It has to do with the B-36 Peacemaker bomber, which was a nuclear bomber from the Cold War. That's where the Peacemaker name comes from, at least for me. So there it is. You got the Peacemaker shirts. You got the Peacemaker stickers, which are coming. They're not here yet. They should be here within a week or so. So love the shirt. And obviously, they go together. You got the explosion for the Peacemaker bomb, and then you got me riding a nuclear bomb. So, all right, guys, I am going to wrap it up. I'm going to get out of here. I've had a good time. I was like, man, it's been so long since I've done a live stream, and you can hear my voice already going. I was like, man, I'm not sure if I'm ready to do this again. I'm not. Yeah, Dr. Strangelove. Yes, sir. Hey, well, you can rewatch it. I'm gonna when I get out of here, you can scan back and watch this thing again. There was some good information on the micro dagger. Micro dagger, some other options that are on the website, and kind of me doing my therapy session, if you will. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. We will do this again. I'm actually thinking about bringing back like a wild card Wednesday a little bit more often. Or maybe a triggered Thursday or something, or just some random stuff. So we're going to see what happens. Okay? Yeah. If you have any questions, you need anything, you can get a hold of me. Probably the best way with Instagram doing their weird crap. I found some messages that were 2 weeks old. I didn't even see. They didn't even pop up. So, TacticalPontoon, one word, @gmail.com. You can send me an email. Easiest way, you can go to TacticalPontoon.com. There's a contact us space. You can fill that out. Shoot me a message. All right. Facebook, you can shoot me a message there. I normally try to check, and them being part of Instagram, Facebook, sometimes they hide those from me as well. I try to check those. Best way is email me. Okay. So I will catch you guys on the next one. We will get back to doing these regular. I promise to try not to lie to you on the regular schedule, but it could happen. Anyways, I'll get back to you if you shoot me a message, especially an email. And we'll do this again here soon. And yeah, have fun. Have a good rest of your weekend. Enjoy getting back to work on Monday. I work Monday too. I've got a good amount of peacemakers to build up and some other stuff. So back to work on Monday for myself as well. All right. Take it easy. Joe, I will talk to you soon on the patches. We'll do something because I failed on my own. Anyways, until next time, I'll catch you later.